Hey everybody, Tap for Bova here. Kind of have an interesting little video. So I have a buddy of mine who knows that I grade. He says that I have an eye for PSA cards. I think I'm alright eye. If I had an eye, then I would have every single card as a PSA 10, or my grades would be on point. I think I'm just okay, above average, I guess. But he has asked me to kind of look at his PSA cards and see if I agree with his grades or not, and just kind of do a quick evaluation. And I think it's an interesting video because I'm with PSA's recent screw ups and mistakes. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there are wondering, hey, you know what, I thought this card was gonna gem in. Hey, I thought my card was gonna this and that. PSA gave me a score that I didn't agree with. So it's a good idea to see, like, hey, you know what, things to look out for, and see, like, do I agree with it or not? Should I take the time to crack it and resubmit it, or ask for a review, or did I miss something? So these are the things that I look out for, and just to see and see if I think it's worth cracking and then resubmitting, or even asking for a review. Now, before I even start reviewing all these slabs, and I have around 20 slabs here, I will say this. I know I just quickly went over this, so I don't have to sit here and go and just like look through all these slabs, so we don't have to waste a lot of time in this video. Out of all these 20 slabs, I think only one of them I would crack and resubmit, I think, and even that is like semi questionable. Like, I wouldn't even risk it because for other reasons that we're gonna go through. Okay, so I have 3 stacks here, and then I believe we're gonna start on this left stack over here, and that is he had bought this and he wanted to see if it's worth cracking because he thought that it was worth regrading for a higher grade. So this is Iono's Kilowatt. Now, looking through a PSA slab is always hard because it's hard to see if there's what the issue is. Now, I believe the issue here was, if I can remember correctly, there's a lot of grades here. Now this one has, I'm gonna see if I could, okay, you know what, I'm gonna use this right here, letter opener, but it's a great pointer. I would not regrade it because there is, let's see if I can get it here, it's hard to see, I'm gonna try to angle it right, but I think it's around here, but there is a little ding on the edge where right around there, it's hard to see, but there's a big ding over there. It's hard to tell. And in terms of back wear, there's no corner problems from what I could tell, but I believe that one push against the side would knock it down. And there's also silvering along the edges on the corners on the top right. Let me see if I can get that picked up. It's really hard to tell. Doing it in person is way easier to tell, but let me see if we get it. But there is silvering on the top right corner, meaning something wasn't cut right, something wasn't done right. So and then there's also silvering on the top right, along right where my finger is right there. Let's see if I can get it picked up. So it will be edge wear corner and then edge wear on the back. That would dock it at a 9. I fully agree with that. Next we have this Galarian Moltres. It came from Crown Zenith tins. A lot of times with these, now we know them as illustration rares, but back then these were kind of like trainer gallery promos. A lot of times when these hollows weren't pressed down correctly, they caused little bubbles, kind of like hollow bubbles. This didn't have any, and the centering in the front is actually pretty good. The problem for this slab comes from the back. There is, if the camera could focus, whitening on the right side right here. It's hard to tell. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, I don't really like doing reviews with this camera. It's really hard to tell. There's a whitening dot on the right side here. there is, and especially through the sleeve too, but just, you know, this is kind of just a review for my friend here, and as a video, there is a roller line that just runs right along the side. I guarantee the camera can't pick it up, but there's a roller line that runs straight through. Centering is not great over here, and I think there's one more issue on the bottom. I guess not, but you know, with those issues, ding, roller line, that's already a 9 in my book. I perfectly agree with that. Next, we have a trio of the Ends Restaurant. They're all the enhanced box topper from Journey Together. They all have some issues one way or another. This one has top edge wear. Running. This one has top silvering. You can see a little silver on this edge wear on the top side. Centering is pretty good, and the back side has one nick on the top, and they're all so small, and I know I'm being very picky, but PSA is picky too. So there is a nick on the top over there that would dock it, and I agree with the 9 rating. This one, the centering is not great. It is top heavy. I'm going to try to center it so you guys can see it. And then this one does not have any silvering issues, but it does have the corner, the bottom right corner. It does. You can see it. There is silvering. Let's see if I can pick it up. I wish I could pick it up better on the camera. But that's what I'm trying to describe as best as I can in person. So, you know, things to look out for. There are no hollow bubbles on this one. And then this one you could really see, I'm going to try to do it as straight as possible, but this one you could really see where the centering is just hot garbage. It is way heavier on the focus camera. It is way heavier on the top and bottom. So, and then I think it's a little bit right and left is not perfect either, but the top and bottom is the real criminal here. And then I don't think there's any edge wear past that, but I believe all those things make it not a 10 candidate. Now, this last one right here has none of those issues. It does not have any edge wear. It has no bubbles. Corners are fine and pressed. Back is fine. It does have one corner whitening. And a lot of the times you see people let that go, but why did this one get a 9? A lot of people miss it. There is, can this pick it up? I think so. Should be able to pick it up. There is a fine blue line running across the blue Pokeball. I really want to pick this up because I miss it all the time. And I don't know what causes this. Probably a printing error. Let's see, it is a fine blue line running across the Pokeball. And then let me see, really print it out. It is so thin. It is super thin. I honestly missed it. I was about to say, you know, hey, we got one. I finally found one that you could crack and resubmit, but it's quite literally the thinnest blue line that runs all the way across. And then PSA basically says, hey, you know what? This is not part of the card. This is not supposed to be there. Boom, 9. So that's the reason for this card. So that's for the recent purchases. Unfortunately, I do agree with all those grades. We're going to move on to his middle stack with the Misty tiers, and that is his personal collection, and he's looking to see if any of these cards are worth cracking and resubmitting to get a higher grade. Now with this Misty tiers, this is actually shockingly really clean. Not shockingly, he does take good care of his cards. And I had a hard time looking or finding anything wrong with it, but I did eventually see that there are some little scratches on the back that and it's really hard to tell if the scratches are on the case or on the card, but all you really have to do is just kind of like wiggle it around and just kind of like see it, like, you know, if if you see a scratch here, you just have to move around the card, and then so will the scratch stay on the card here, or will it move? If you move the card and then you keep the right angle, if the scratch moves, then it's on the case. If it doesn't move, then it's on the card. And I see one major scratch right above the T on creatures, and it's just so hard with the refraction, with the reflection of this, like this light I have right here. It's just so hard to see. But you know, I mean, it's hard for me to see with the, you know, first person view. It's hard to explain, but that's essentially what I do to double check. So it's more like, I wish I could show you, but it's kind of, you have to follow what I say instead of what I do, essentially. Now this Pikachu right here, beautiful card. First thing I do look at is if there's any once again, those hollow press bubbles. There isn't any. I am shocked how glossy it is. The yellow is also super glossy, not just the hollow pattern. So beautiful front. I think I saw something wrong with the back. Yeah, so the top right corner, super beat up. I wouldn't say super beat up, but there's definitely a lot of whining. It looks like someone didn't like that top right corner, and I found it. So I really don't know what to call it. I personally call it roller lines because it just looks like one white line that just goes straight along it. It's just one white line. It just and I don't know what part of the production it looks like. Somewhere along the production, it's just somewhere in the factory. It's just something that causes this line to form, go completely across the backs of these Pokemon cards. Sometimes I find it, and I will just find it in random places. This one happens to form on the top right here. I've seen them, you know, literally anywhere. I've seen them from, you know, along the sides right here. This one, now that I look at this angle, I see some down here, and I just see them in various places. But this one has one distinct over here, and one running alongside on the bottom, and a couple of little ones on the side. Now sometimes I see them, you know, doesn't reach all the way across. Some will just like run maybe like halfway across the card, a quarter across the card. I really don't know what it is. I kind of want to see the entire card making process one day, to kind of like know what it is, to kind of like label it correctly. But for now, I'm just gonna call it roller lines because I'm sure I think what it is just, you know, once it's cut, it rolls along the line, and it's somewhere along the line it just stops, and maybe it's just like a dirty roller and it just stops there, and it just causes it. That's what I'm calling it for now. But yeah, this is because of those. That's what causes the 9 for this one. And you will see this card a lot in the personal collection, as well as this stack, which is the recent subs. Reshiram and Charizard, PSA 9. This one, man, this is produced so much, and I love the collection box, the little figurine. This brings back good times. Yeah, because it was produced en masse, and I felt like they overproduced it and they just cranked them out. Every single card had some issue or another. This one, first of all, I don't like how they cut this corner. I don't think PSA docked them, but if you looked at, let me see if I can get it real good. If you looked at this, let's see if I can get it. This corner, the right corner, and the left corner, it wasn't even cut properly. It's not even cut right. It's not the same round corner, so I don't know what's going on. But bottom left corner has white, so it wasn't cut properly. And then there are dings. I'm surprised this was not an 8. Honestly, this is a 9. I've seen 8s worse than this, so, or better than this. There is on the white Pokeball imprints, a line maybe half an inch I really wish I could show it, but I wish it comes out better on the camera. But there's a little indent here, and there are, pretty sure I saw another one. I guess not, but even that alone, that should have been like a 8 or 7 already. But the fact that this got a 9, I wouldn't even touch it. Just let it go. Just be thankful that this one got a 9. Now this card, centering is not great, but I think it's still within bounds. I mean, it's right heavy, it's bottom heavy, but I think it's okay. It's not great. I think what brought this down though is there is, let me see if I can get it. There is one scratch. It's so minute too. That runs down here. And then there are multiple small dings too. There's so many to point out. There's one here. Sorry. There's one right here. A couple here. And then there's one more. Where is it at? I could point it out. There's a couple more on the sides. There's like a couple more in this area. They're all like super minor, but they all added up to take off 1 point. And then I see a couple more scratches here too. So it just looks like, you know, this was either jammed into the promo box or the figure collection box a little haphazardly, or it just wasn't treated well. It just, like I said, these were mass produced, jammed to the box really quick, and just sent them out to be shipped really quickly. So no, the QC was horrible for these cards. That's why I think these are very expensive now in a 10, and then the gem rate is not very high. Now I don't know why this is in the personal collection, other than this is a great card, but I don't know why this is a SGC. SGC gave this a 10. This was written in 90. Maybe they round up. I don't know what's going on. I'm just looking at this and I'm just laughing because the front looks great and all. I'm like, okay, cool. It's a Starmie, right? Okay, cool. Front looks great, and then you look at the back. There are, and I know the camera could pick it. I'm pretty sure the camera pick it up. You got two back dots, and this is not the case. I tried, or it's not. It's inside the card. You got 2 dots right here. You got 1 dust speck that got in, so you got a dirty facility with SGC. They don't even bother cleaning it. 1 dust speck there. More stuff on the card that wasn't even bothered, either wiping off by somebody. And so yeah, bad surface grade. Another dust speck that was on the card that wasn't docked off. This is just a dirty card that was slabbed and given a 10. So I don't know what the heck's going on with this one. I wouldn't even crack this one and then cross grade it to a PSA 10, because this is probably gonna 8, so I don't know why this is in a personal collection. I would just crack this and keep this raw, to be perfectly honest, because it's great raw. I don't know why. I think, okay, so CGC. So CGC, I thought, made a great splash when they decided to step into the Pokemon grading scene versus instead of the comic, not instead, but in addition to the comics that they were grading. Now, this is a sick card. I like this card. I think it's cool and all. If my friend were to grade this in a PSA 10, I don't see why. There is not much value in this specific card, and I didn't see any issues with this card. Obviously, I think it will 10. There's another copy in here somewhere that I did see an issue with. I don't think I saw an issue with this one, which is cool. So it's like, okay, fine. If you want to crack this one in cross grade with PSA, sure. But why would you do it with this card? There's really no point. It's a 10 already. If you want to do it for value, sure, great, but it's slabbed already. So there's really no point to do it for this one. But if you want to, by all means, I do think that this one, you know, the one with the serialized number ending in 3133, by all means, go ahead. That one works. Now, another reason why CGC will never surpass PSA is this Squirtle. Now, maybe the damage happened after it got slabbed, but there is no way that this is a 10. So, top, I wish I could pick it up just so I could do a little bit of a clown on CGC, but the top along right here, there's edge wear. There's so much edge wear. I can see it clearly. It's almost sticks out like a sore thumb. That it's silvering so bad. And then they were like, okay, well, gem in 10, here you go. Why would you do that? Like, why would you have like no, you know, it's just the standards are kind of low in my opinion if that's the case. Other than that, the centering is okay, and it runs. I didn't even notice it too. It just runs almost all along the entire top side, and it goes past the top barricade too. So I think this card is just. This card was just, you know, the top was ruined to begin with, and they just let that slide. And then I think there was one more error in the back, but they just gave this a gem in 10. Should have been a 9.5 based on their old standards. They probably give it like a, yeah, even if you look at it too, like the centering is poor for this one too. It is very left heavy and very bottom heavy. So for CGC to give this a 10, come on. This should never have been a 10. This should have been a 9. Like, and then, you know, like in my personal opinion, this should have been a 9. Like, forget PSA, forget like anything like this, you know, even like personal standards, like you give it to any collector, you're like, hey, do you think this is like a gem mint card? I would say a lot of people say, no, this is not gem mint. This is not gem mint whatsoever. So, all right, here we have another CGC card. It's Chansey. Let's see what we got here. I did find another sale once again. So I believe this one is damaged. Well, no, it's not damaged on the slab because once again there is edge wear. The corner has silvering issues, so it was damaged before it was slabbed. And then there is also silvering on the top right corner. So once again, I don't even know why this is this got a 10. In no universe should this guy have gotten a 10. The back is great though, which is kind of rare for cards like this. Usually illustration rares, modern illustration rares have a really bad time grading 10s, which kind of a side note, anything Scarlet Violet illustration rares, I think in the future will really pick up in value just because they're just so hard to grade. Now there's a lot of them, but once people kind of realize that, you know, the gem rate is kind of hard, there's not going to be a lot in the market with people who, like, you know, decide, hey, you know, I think these illustration rares are really great, I kind of want to collect them all. Well, there's not going to be a lot for a lot of people to do so. So there's all of a sudden people starts saying, hey, you know what, I want to collect illustration rare PSA 10s. We're going to have a problem. And then we're going to see these illustration rares, especially great arts like this one featuring, you know, Kanto Pokemon like Psyduck, Ditto, Chansey, Snorlax, and, you know, to an extent Blissey. These are really going to spike up. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, this is kind of clean, by all means. I guess you can kind of make an argument this is gem mint, but I wouldn't risk it. I would just take that CGC 10, to be honest. Alright, here we have another Articuno once again. I don't know if it's because of the card before it got slabbed, but once again we have top silvering. I can see it very clearly. It stands out like a sore thumb. I wish I could show it better, but I really can't. And then I wish I could once again show it better, but it's hard to see it through the slab. So if it's hard to see it through the slab, it's hard to see it through the camera. But there's just so much scratchings, micro scratches on the back. I'm just gonna call it micro scratchings. It looks like it just slid sideways on the conveyor belt. That's what it looks like. It's causing these scratches because it's not the roller lines that I was talking about before, but it just looks like it just looks like it slid or something, and someone just had to pick it up. It just went too fast on the belt or something. I don't know what's going on, but there's a lot going on. There's a whole bunch just collecting on this side. So, and it got a gem in 10. So good on you, CGC. Thanks for giving the free 10 to the buddy, I guess. But yeah, I don't think in any world that should get a CGC 10. Oh, it should get a 10. It's not gem in. I don't think it's gem in. You know, you ask a collector, take a look at that. Do you think it's gem in? I don't think it is, unfortunately. And same thing for this card right here. Once again, it's like, all right, cool. It's a, you know, is it worth getting a PSA 10? Probably not, especially not this one. Well, no, that's not part of the slab. This one's real dusty inside too, so this one isn't really taken care of either. So yeah, so I guess what I guess I'm trying to say is, like, no grading company is perfect. Like CGC lets things go. PSA is too big and they're making mistakes. BGS bought out and they're really not that valuable, and if you're not going to grade it, so it's like, what's kind of your options? Do you want to grade and kind of put value in your cards, you know? So that's kind of it's what's a collector to do, right? But all that's for another video, because I got one more stack to go through, and that is his recent subs. And I know what you're thinking. How the heck did this get a very good 3? A 3 you probably should have a crease, probably went through the washing machine. It looks pretty good, right? Well, yeah, the front looks pretty good. I don't see a damn thing wrong with the front. And I kind of don't agree with the 3. I mean, to be honest, I think it should be a 7. I guess whoever was grading it was not having a good day. But all 4 corners have whitening. It kind of, you know, it's pretty bad whitening. I think it almost looks trimmed to an extent. There is that earlier when I said there was a thin blue line, there's a thin blue line running down here. Not going all the way, but it seems like a printing issue. There are pretty bad indents. And I tried doing the test run to pick it up earlier. I wish I could show it, but I wish it came up. It was like one angle that I was able to pick it up. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can even find it right now. Yeah, but this card is beat up. I could see it through the PSA slab, but it is beat up. There's just all around this area, it is just beat up with just dents, little tiny dents, but there are multiple of them, and I don't know what happened. I don't know how this passed. I don't know who did it. And it's all lining up on one area, so it looks like something landed on it, perhaps. That's what it looks like. Something landed on it, and it just created this issue. So that's why I got a 3. Although it looks like a 7 to me. So, I mean, he asked me to crack a slab. Just, you know, you'll see things as like entertaining to teach you guys how to, you know, they'll teach people in this channel how to crack a slab, which I think is entertaining too. I mean, this has no value whatsoever unless people are trying to do, you know, a Snorlax 151 or a PSA 1 through 10. Some people do that. Is if someone's looking for a 3, they might pay a little bit more, but this might as well just be a binder copy and just crack it out and just keep it in the binder. That's what I would do. But that's why this is not a 9, but definitely I don't think it deserves a 3 for sure. Now, before I continue with the rest of this recent sub, I will say a lot of the damage that I found came from the same area, which makes me think that whoever was grading this was not careful, and then it was causing the damage before the grading was done, and therefore was docking the points off of the cards based on the damage that the grader was doing itself. So I'm a little suspicious about that since there's not all the same era cards. So it's hard for me to kind of like prove that. And, it's a little suspicious, but once again, it's hard for me to grade that. It's hard for me to say that for sure unless there was like a pre-recorded video or a recorded video or picture evidence of the cards before it was sent off to be graded. So I could only say for sure what I see is wrong with the card that caused the grades. So always take a picture, or better yet a video of the card, going over it really slowly like what I do on this channel, of like what the card is before you grade it, just so if something weird or funny happens, at least you have something to say like, hey, what the hell's going on, like this is not my card. And then so at least something could happen, and PSA at least could be held accountable, and then something could be done about it. Otherwise it's just a big old like he said she said, and PSA will not do anything about it because they do not take accountability for anything. So with that being said, let's continue. You will see a trend coming up with this with most of this stack. Now I will also say that this Chatot is a freaking awesome card. As a former music major, the Chatot is on musical notes, and the top three are It's Crying Game, at least the best that I could do, and then the bottom five. So it's on a musical note. It's on a musical staff. So the first three notes are the It's Crying the Game, and the bottom five notes is the music little cute, is a quick little medley that it plays when your Pokemon's getting healed. Fun little fact. Cool card. Love this card. Wish you got a 10. I would have bought it off my friend. But anyways, I see nothing wrong with this card. There is a little, it looks like somebody decided to pull a little too hard on the bottom right, causing a little bit of damage. It just looks like someone just pulled it like that, and that's what I was talking about. That's the kind of the same damage that I see for most of these cards in this stack right here, which causes me to be suspicious. But once again, that's all I have. Suspicions. Other than that, I got nothing else. Okay, so that's the only thing I see wrong. Another Chatot. Centering is fine. I don't see any bubbles. Oh, I guess another note with illustration rares, especially modern illustration rares. Sometimes you'll see illustration rares hollow patterns not pressed properly. You'll see squares. So I guess it just wasn't formed or pressed properly. Do not send those. I do not have a proper example here, but you'll see it. It's kind of, when you see it, it's really clear. It just looks like squares, and maybe you'll probably think, oh, it's probably just a pattern because it looks exactly like a pattern, and like, oh, it doesn't look wrong. I don't think PSA accepts that because it's not what it's supposed to be. So it's just squares. This almost has it. You could kind of see it, but it'll be way more pronounced. It just looks like straight squares. It just looks like patterns just not pressed correctly or just not formed correctly. And once again, this one, other than like a dirty, it just looks like a piece of PSA plastic that was pressed and just wasn't done correctly. A piece made it in there. I don't think they took points off because it's probably it got in there after they pressed the slab, but there is some dirt and smudge on this right side right here. That's probably caused the surface grade, and once again, more of the same smudge and dirt on this side. So Uh, yeah, I just find it really weird that, you know, looking through this stack, they all have the same damage in that area. Now, Detective Pikachu, beautiful promo, really expensive in a 10. This had damage. So this had one smudge in the middle of the Pokeball right here. Once again, I wish I could show it. So one smudge and then one tiniest little nick right next to it. So that's why I got it. So my friend probably just missed it. If he wiped the smudge off, maybe the nick would have been ignored. I'm not sure, but that's why they got a 9. Now, we're going to try to speed run through all of this because there's a lot of Pikachu promos. So these were meant to, you know, he said that he went through them really, really carefully. These were meant to 10 and do a quick flip because he got a bunch of these for on the cheap. But 9s he couldn't sell. So I think some of them have the bubbles that I was talking about. Not this one, but yeah. So this one once again has the same error. It looked like someone just pinched it too hard and it just pulled it out, causing some scratches. Let me just see if there's anything else that I saw. Nope. So that was the only error on this one. So I think the PSA just did an error. PSA just, you know, did an error. Oh, this one does have a little tiny whitening dot on the bottom. So a little surface error. So maybe that's what did it too. Not 100% sure. I know one of these had the lamination dots, but not this one. This one is a little bit bottom heavy. I don't think enough though, and that's the thing with the tag team cards. I'm not sure what counts as bottom heavy because if you look at the arrows, these arrows look fine, but these ones you could clearly see where the arrow ends and you can see more silvering. So like you can see more silvering after the arrow ends, but not this one. So maybe that's what causes the centering. It's really easy to see you know, centering issues with these tag team cards. Maybe that's why this got an 8. Yeah, you can really see the centering issues on the back though with this one. Alright, after pausing the video real quick and taking a look at it, there is a little, I guess it's not the same, but there still is an error over here. So it probably is, and it's probably a manufacturing error, but not the same PSA error. It just looks like once again something happened along the factory floor. There is a lot of smudging on this side, so it's probably it just looks like it's dirty. It looks like fingerprints, to be perfectly honest, or just some kind of smudge. And honestly, this card in general is just really dirty, so it just probably affected this. It affected the surface score. I see dirt here, I see dirt here, and I see dirt there. So this is just overall dirty card, so probably ruined the surface grade. That's probably why I narrowed it down it brought it down to an 8. This one, I saw a little nick on the top here on this. Cut that. This one once again is not cut correctly. You can see it's not aligned. So there's alignment issues. It's very right heavy, and the bottom you can see the silvering. So it's probably OC. That's probably knocked it down the score. Oh yeah, it's not cut straight either. So it looks like it was cut. So it looks like it was cut like this, and that's what probably brought the score down. Once again, I do see the issues where it was pulled down this way. So yeah, whoever was grading this at the time was not very happy. Just ruining cards as he was pulling them down. Yeah, I would be pissed off if I was receiving this submission. Raichu and Alolan Raichu, really cool card. Mitsuhiro Arita artwork. Once again, a little bit OC. It was showing the silver on the bottom of the corner. I don't think it's that bad though, but I guess it is bad to the grader. And once again, the only damage I see would just be that weird corner issue. This one doesn't look as bad, it just looks like a really dirty corner. Maybe I don't know, it looks like the grader has just had lunch and it was touching with a dirty, smudgy finger or something. KFC fingers. Yeah, I'm not sure this one. And the center is not great on this one, but I don't think it should have been docked a corner. Or docked a whole grade for that one. This one, I think I saw, yeah, so this one had a blister, but it's the hollow blister, but it's the tiniest one. It's like right there, right next to Alolan Raichu's ear, between the black border, and then right above the X is really hard to see. There's a couple, I think there's a couple of blisters. Yeah, there's a couple of blisters, but they're so tiny. There's one here. And it's hard to see sometimes too, but there's a couple of little blisters here. Once again, centering is just okay. It's not the greatest. It's also cut a little bit lopsided, but it's not great. Yep, once again, I see it now. Once again, it's a corner issue. So it's the same corner issues for this entire stack. These are all promos from like a league battle kit. So maybe that's why, but still, I just find it really weird that that's the case. Now we're moving on to Charizards. This one has a couple of this one has a little bit hollow scratching here, so that's probably why that had that issue. They took care of this Charizard, but there's still a surface there's still a little surface dust speck over here, and there is some foiling issues. There is some foil scratches over here. So that's why I did get a 9. But this one is, I would say, dare I say, if you get the right grader, and then if this dust speck got wiped off, with the right grader, this probably could have passed as a 10. But, so it's not like super clean, but it's pretty close up there. Same with this one, I believe. These are both pretty clean. And once again, it's just, oh, but this one did not get the right treatment. This one also has the same corner issue. The same frustrating corner issue with the grader. Just decided to mess around, have a bad day. Now this one got a PSA 8 on a recent submission. I guess he found more of these cards, or he didn't grade them all. So centering is actually perfect on this one, which is kind of hard. It's kind of rare. So this one, yeah, I can see why. All four corners have a bad ding. I don't need a pointer for that one. They're actually really bad. And then I'm pretty sure I saw something else over here. Oh yeah, indent. There's a small indent over on this side where I'm pointing at. See if I can pick it up. Should be pretty hard to pick it up though. Small indent here. Surface wear. Also looks like it wasn't cut correctly either. So it's like it just leaves like a weird like cutting pattern. So it would create edge wear patterns too. So it's just all around just really bad quality control for this card. Like I said, that's why it's just poor gem rate for this one. Once again, this one centering is not great, but should be still within bounds. Final card. Once again, so this one has the roller line issues where it just runs all the way around. I see it down right here. I see another one right there. Corners are much better on this one. I remember seeing dings on this one as well. No dings, but this one, it's just dirty all around. Super dirty. Scratch, just smudge. On this one on the top left too. And then, oh, and I see scratches too. Yeah, so it's just the back is just not great. A lot of times just the backs are not great. So try to speed through it. I'm sorry this is a longer video. I try to do my best to kind of explain why PSA would I try to put myself as a PSA grader and give what I would give. trying to give a PSA 10, trying to give everyone what they want, but at the same time trying to, you know, not give PSA a bad name, even though I want to give PSA a bad name. But as a grader, as a person who you know, really loves the hobby, really appreciates the cards, really appreciates you know, these cards as like art pieces, as you know, cut that. You know, as someone who really appreciates these cards as, you know, works of art, and who wants to, you know, kind of categorize them for quality, what they are, that's what I was going for. And that's kind of my criteria, not PSA's criteria, not any other grading company's criteria. That's what I was looking, that's the lens that I was looking through. So maybe I am a little bit harsh, but that's what I would do, and that's what I look at, and that's what I used to decide to send it to PSA. And then sometimes I just hope that, you know, whoever is grading the cards at PSA that's agrees with me, and you know, gives me the 10s and stuff. So if anything, I am sorry for this way longer video than intended, but if anything, I hope you learned something today, and I hope this helped my buddy out for his decision to do anything, if he decides to crack anything else. I think after this super long video, I owe you guys one slab cracking video. So I think I'm just gonna find a slab that I'm gonna crack, and I'm just gonna crack it. Why not? Vent some stress. It's gonna make me feel good to crack a PSA video, crack a PSA slab anyway. So thank you again if you guys made it all the way through. A super long video, probably the longest one I've made so far. Thank you for watching. This is Tap for Boba, and I'm all tapped out.